So yes, I have a lot of microbiological stuff around the lab. And somebody asked about this laminar flow hood that I have right behind where I generally sit in lab. And let me show you some of the stuff that I have. Now some of these are things that I have purchased. Boy, I like that one right there. I'm really fond of putting up signs of places I've been, things that occur to me, things that students have made, like that, things that have picked up one way or another. And as you can see, it's kind of like part of my life almost. Some of the badges I've worn to meetings. We have some wonderful stuff by Jane Hartman here. You'll see some stuff from Peggy Muddles as well. I'm very fond of these tiny buttons too. Like Etsy is my friend, right? Here is a lab fairy to bring your experiments luck. And I'm gonna go all the way to the top, and I had a super quiet student a few years ago who made me this giant crocheted phage, and it has my initials on it way up there. And naturally, I'm never far from Cthulhu and all the rest. There is a beautiful dragon, which I converted into a microbiologist dragon here. I got that at the Portland Market some years ago. Movies I've seen. I actually don't know where the small knit items are from, but they certainly look like spirilla to me. Buttons that I've made, other people have made. This is super important to me. I think that everybody needs to be able to come to lab and feel safe. This is kind of a story of my life with regard to caffeine. The Team Scleropolis, I can't even say it, but that's what Ethan Kochik made for me. Various buttons and such that I have had made over the years. That's Johnny. Johnny did a wonderful job at ASM making a number of these handmade. They really work his fingers off, Johnny Chang at ASM. He spends the entire conference making these things. By the end of it, he looks pretty tired. All kinds of odds and ends that I've seen and come across over the years. Sometimes they're things that students have made for me, like a tardigrade mask, don't ask. Giant squid. More magnets and buttons. Oh, see, Peggy Muddles made me a tardigrade. All kinds of nice things that you see. And this is part of small figurines from that anime about talking to microbes. That's Drunk Octopus Wants to Fight. That's pretty funny. And then we start to work our way down, and here are some things that some of my microbiology students made as if, standard magazine covers had something to do with microbiology in a similar way. Again, because I think this is so important, closest I'll ever get to the Loch Ness Monster, I'm afraid. And that's kind of what I have here, right here in this one area. It's pretty busy. Some folks that I've talked to over the years will tell me it's like too much or too strange, or this is my favorite, too markish. But the fact of the matter is, it's who I am. And I think a lot of students like it. I need to work on how better to include or perhaps get them to be more tolerant of me for those who don't. But I want to make my lab and my classes the kind of place where students can have a little fun and learn a lot. And sure, that's me, but I'm all right with that. As I think I've said before, I'm kind of a giant goofball. And hopefully someday I can aspire to be microbiology's giant goofball. Thanks for coming along on this little virtual tour.